Hi guys, my name is Davis and you're watching Diaries on my YouTube channel Get Fit Go. This is the 8th video in this series. If you like the other videos, then hit the subscribe button below so that you don't miss any of the new videos I put up every week. In this episode, I want to talk about the only thing that matters for weight loss. It is creating a calorie deficit. Some of you might already know what a calorie deficit is. But I got a lot of DMs on my Instagram about doubts on diets, and I got a sense that a lot of us do not know what a calorie deficit is. So I'm going to explain it to you because it's crucial that you understand it if you're trying to lose weight, gain weight, or even maintain your weight. So across the day, our body burns calories for basic body functions and for any activity like working out or doing any work at home. This is called your daily energy expenditure. We also bring in calories into our body through the food that we eat every day. This is called your daily calorie intake. So if your calorie intake is less than your daily energy expenditure, you create a calorie deficit. And our body gets the remaining calories by burning the fat and muscle in our body. And hence you lose weight. But if your daily calorie intake is more than your daily energy expenditure, you create a calorie surplus. The excess calories that the body does not need gets stored as fat. Hence, you gain weight. And if your daily calorie intake is same as your daily energy expenditure, then you just maintain your weight. So let me detail this a bit because only then you can apply this concept to lose weight, to gain weight, or to maintain your weight. I'll break down daily energy expenditure, or in simple terms, the calories we burn every day, into two simple parts. Part 1 is calories burnt for major body functions. Even if we just rest across the day and just eat our meals, our body would still burn a lot of calories for major body functions like breathing, blood circulation, and to digest the food we eat. This makes up for 70 to 85% of the total calories we burn in a day. Of course, this will vary depending on your age, gender, height, and weight. We don't have much control over part 1. We can't really increase it or decrease it easily. Part 2 is calories burnt through activity. This includes the calories you burn by doing activities like sports or exercise, or the non-exercise activities like doing some work at home, taking a shower, etc. This makes up for only 15 to 30% of the total calories we burn in a day. But this part is in our control. We can increase this part by doing exercises or by generally being more active across the day. There are a lot of websites that help you calculate your total daily energy expenditure. I'll link one of them in the description below. You can check it out. Now let's talk about your daily calorie intake. So how do you track the calories you're eating every day? There are a lot of free apps where you can enter the food that you're eating and it'll tell you how many calories are there in it. I don't suggest doing it all the time, but you can try it for 2 weeks or a month to get an understanding of how many calories you're consuming every day. I did it when I started my weight loss journey and it really helped me. The 2 apps I suggest are MyFitnessPal and HealthifyMe. I'll link them in the description below. So let me explain calorie deficit with an example. So let's take example of a 30-year-old male named Manjunath, whose weight is 75 kgs and height is 170 centimeters. He doesn't work out, but he moves around a bit, going to office and doing some work at home. So Manjunath's daily energy expenditure, as per this website, is around 2000 calories. Like I explained before, 85% of this is the calories burnt for his major body functions and for the digestion of the food he eats. So that's around 1700 calories. And the calories burnt through activity is the remaining 300 calories. This is just from his movement at home or at office. Now let's say Manjunath's daily calorie intake through the food he eats is also around 2000 calories. If he continues like this, he'll neither gain weight nor lose weight, because whatever calories he's bringing in through food gets burnt by his body. But if he wants to lose weight, he needs to create a calorie deficit. There are 3 ways he can do this. Option A, he cuts down his daily calorie intake by 500 calories. He can do this by eating healthier and by eating in the right quantities. But his body still needs these 500 calories. So it burns the fat and muscle in his body to produce these calories. To lose 1 kg, an average human being needs to burn around 7000 to 8000 calories over time. With a deficit of 500 calories a day, Manjunath would take about 2 weeks to lose 1 kg. It's not a bad start if he has a long-term plan in mind. Option B, he does not cut down his calorie intake, but starts working out regularly to increase his daily energy expenditure and create a calorie deficit. To give you perspective, if you run 5 kilometers, you burn about 300 to 350 calories. And if you work out at a gym or you work out at home for an hour, you burn around 300 to 400 calories. Of course, it will vary depending on your age, gender, current weight, and how intensive the workout was. So if Manjunath doesn't cut down on food and works out 4 to 5 times a week, then he'll create a deficit of about 250 to 300 calories a day. And it'll take even longer for him to lose that first kg. Also, it's very difficult to work out and not eat more. Especially the meal after your workout ends up being a heavy one. That's why it's difficult to lose weight with option B, unless you're an athlete and you train for hours every day. But for most of us, we cannot outtrain a bad diet. Option C is doing both. So Manjunath can cut down his calorie intake a little bit and also work out 4 to 5 times a week. Through this, he can create a calorie deficit of about 25 to 30% of his total daily energy expenditure. That's around 500 to 600 calories. So you too can choose any of the 3 options I have mentioned here to create a calorie deficit. My suggestion would be option C, and I'll tell you why. When you're losing weight in a calorie deficit, our body burns both fat and muscles, and losing muscles is not a good thing. So if you want to retain muscles and make sure all the weight loss comes from burning fat, then you either need to do strength training at a gym or do bodyweight training at home so that you don't lose any muscle. But if you absolutely don't like working out or cannot work out right now for some reason, then option A is also a very good start. So why is understanding this concept of calorie deficit important? It's important because now that you know this is the only way to lose weight, you can focus on following a diet and working out instead of looking for some hack or a weight loss shortcut. Every diet that works because it creates a calorie deficit. Every weight loss tip that I have shared in the Diet Diaries series works because it creates a calorie deficit. I spoke about not taking multiple servings, not having 2 bad meals back to back. Both of them work because both of them help you create a calorie deficit. So put every weight loss tip you get from anywhere under the scanner of calorie deficit and see if it makes sense. When people tell you broccoli is great for weight loss, it's not because it's some superfood. It's simply because it is very low in calories and helps you create a calorie deficit. Similarly, consuming large quantities of deep fried stuff, alcohol or sweets is bad because they are really high in calories and you cannot create a calorie deficit when you are consuming them in large quantities. So use the link in description to check your daily energy expenditure. Use any of the apps I mentioned before to check your calorie intake and let me know in comments if you're in a calorie deficit or in a calorie surplus. Check out the other episodes in the Diet Diaries series. I'll link the playlist here. Subscribe to my channel. I have new videos planned every week. Follow me on Instagram. I share my workout and my diet videos there. And stay tuned.